Okay, so this is about a 6-minute long video. So I won't be, letting it play all the way through and then reacting to it. I'm going to react to it while watching it. Okay, so, you know,
So I broke up my engagement last July, and I never shared why on TikTok because quite frankly, it's nobody's business. However, I know a lot of people are very curious, and while I will not dive into the details of my relationship online because I feel like that's a little tacky, I will share a fun little story. And this story is going to tell you everything you need to know about why I left that man. So let's take it back to his birthday last year. His birthday is in March. So the night before his
I think it's funny that it's tacky to share details of your relationship, but it's not tacky to share your relationship. Okay.
birthday, we go out to dinner with his family at a really nice restaurant. And at this said restaurant, my ex has a full cake, like literally an entire cake with candles. We sing him happy birthday. He blows out his candles. He makes a birthday wish and he proceeds to eat what I believe was like 2 slices of cake. Badass. The next day is
He ate 2 slices of cake on his birthday. She whispered, "Fat ass." I can see why you most likely called off the engagement because you didn't really love him. This is a thing where, and I know a little bit about this video, so I mean, just reading it, I believe a lot of women are just settling for the men that they're in a relationship with. They can't get the Chads, the Tyrones, the players, the Pookies, the Ray Rays to settle down. They can't get those men. Okay, the men that brings them fire. Okay, fire in their bellies that gives them the spark. They can't get those men to settle down. Women can't get those men. They can't change the Pookies. Okay, they can't change the Pookies. They can't make the Pookies settle down. So guess what? You know what? Women will settle for men that are stable, men that are loving, respecting, good men, kind men. In my personal opinion, they can't get. They will settle for these men because they know these men are stable. So yes, women will marry their second option. Sometimes their last, but because they can't get their first option to settle down.
birthday. However, let's preface this by saying about 6 weeks before that, I asked him very casually, hey, what's your like dream breakfast? Like death row breakfast. And he tells me that it's like this Mediterranean kind of charcuterie board with like fresh fruits, kind of like a king style breakfast. So I noted that. Let's roll it back to the day of his birthday. So instead of giving him a gift, I gave him a day full of experiences because this man already had everything. Mind you, this is all a surprise. He doesn't know anything about what we're doing the day of his birthday. So I wake up at like the crack ass of dawn to make this man his like dream charcuterie board breakfast. I went to like a specialty shop and bought like special hummus. I did the whole 9 yards. If you look up like Middle Eastern breakfast on Pinterest, that's pretty much what I made him. So I bring him the charcuterie board with his breakfast.
I thought you said Mediterranean. I'm pretty sure she said Mediterranean, right? I'm pretty sure that he said a Mediterranean uh, breakfast. She said Middle Eastern. Am I hearing it wrong? I'm pretty sure I heard that right.
And he kind of makes fun of it, starts making jokes about it. He's like, what is this? And I'm like, that's your death row breakfast that you said was like your dream breakfast for kings. And here you go. Whatever, kind of hurt my feelings because I put a lot of work and effort into that breakfast. I gave him grace because it's his birthday. So then I tell him,
You said what would be your death row meal, your death row breakfast. Um, this is a thing where I find it hard, hard that a lot of women don't know personal opinion. I think a lot of women don't know how to communicate. I don't think a lot of women know how to communicate because women know how to communicate like women, obviously, but they're using that way of communication when it comes to men. Ask him. Ask him what would his birthday breakfast would be. Not, oh, what's your death row breakfast? This is a thing where I don't just saying Mediterranean breakfast. When she said Middle Eastern breakfast, already she most likely probably sounds like she didn't even get the type of breakfast he wanted correctly. And now she gave him a breakfast that honestly, let's say even if she did, right? Even if she did the Mediterranean breakfast that he said he wanted, that don't mean that he wanted on his birthday. On his birthday. That's the thing where a lot of women think that they know what's best. They think that, oh, they're listening, but you frame things in the way that, you know what, it wouldn't make sense. You said, what breakfast would you want on death row? That doesn't necessarily, fly on every day, or a special day. This is like, because you gotta think, that'd probably be his last day. So maybe he wanted to try something he'd never tried before for his last day, maybe. Not something he wanted to try on his special day.
What the first activity is. And I had booked us a horseback riding on the beach. Immediately, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Like, that's for you, not for me. So basically, he was like, not excited to go at all. And mind you, I had.
What fucking man wants to go horseback riding on the beach? A man plans that for a woman. A man plans that for a woman. I swear to God, this is a thing where, and this is why I said I read a little bit about this, the comments, and kind of foreshadowed everything for me. This is the problem with a lot of women: selfishness. Okay, I'm not saying all women, of course. I'm saying a lot of women. This is the problem: selfishness, pure, utter selfishness. Even on a man's birthday, he can't even get the shit he wants. He gets the shit that you want and that you want for him. But in actuality, you want for yourself. You're just giving it a reason. Fucking horseback riding? I've never heard a man wanting a horseback riding. Seriously.
Already paid for this. So I was like, okay, well, it's your birthday. Like, we don't have to go. We can cancel. And he's like, no, let's just go. So we show up and it's a group activity, but it's not that many people. It's like two other couples and us. And we ride horseback along the beach.
I swear to God. You know what? It's like hell. You know what? I've said to exes, just give me sex. And they can't even give me that. So really, yeah. She couldn't just give him a PlayStation?
It was so beautiful, like something out of a movie. And I'm just enjoying myself, like trying to hype him up and have him enjoy himself too. And the whole time this man was complaining and so miserable. He looked so miserable. So after the horseback riding ends is our next activity. And I booked us a couples massage at a 5-star hotel, the Faina, which is like a really nice hotel, really, really nice spa. And I thought we were going to have our massage and then enjoy the amenities. And then I thought we were going to have lunch at the Faina after. Like, that's what I had planned for us. As soon as I parked the car and then we're about to get out and go to the Faina, he literally tells me he doesn't want to do this. So I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I can call and cancel, but I'm gonna have to pay like.
Literally, she planned a day for herself. She planned her own birthday. Fucking spa? A spa? I swear to God, what? I don't hear. I mean, like, there probably are men out there that wants like, oh, I want a spa on my birthday. There probably are, but fucking seriously, I don't think most men are asking for a spa for their birthday. This woman literally planned her own birthday on her boyfriend's birthday. She planned her she planned shit for herself that just included her ex. And then she said, "Oh, this is why she's not with him in before." I'm sorry. He wasn't happy about your selfishness. He wasn't happy that you couldn't have your day on his fucking day.
Same day cancellation fee. But it's your birthday, like we could do whatever you want. He's like, no, fine, whatever. I don't want you to get charged a fee. Let's just go. So we go, we have our couples massage. It was lovely. And then I thought we were going to enjoy the amenities for like at least an hour, maybe two. 20 minutes goes by.
This funny comment. She said, comment like, I won't dive into details, then proceeds to dive into details.
And he's like, I want to go home. I'm like, okay, are you sure you don't want to have like lunch at the Faina? And he was like, no, I just want to go home. So I'm like, all right, let's go home. We get home and he's like, what's for dinner? I had booked us a really nice sushi restaurant in Brickell. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel it. So I canceled the reservation as per his request. And at this point we are starving. It's like 3 p.m. and we hadn't eaten since like 7 a.m. So I asked him, hey, are you hungry? Like, what do you want? I'll order us food. He's like, I'm not hungry. I don't want anything. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, tell me whatever you want, like I'll get it. And he insisted that he wasn't hungry and that he didn't want anything. So then I said, hey,
She literally ruined his day. She did everything she wanted. She did everything what she thought was the right thing. This is the thing. I said this. I've thought about this before, and maybe I've said it. I believe a lot of women love how they want to be loved, not how the other person wants to be loved. A lot of women love a man how they want to be loved. They go about things how they think it should be. In my personal opinion, I think a lot of men love a woman how she wants to be loved because a lot of men know that you have to gear towards the woman because for her happiness. Imagine this, and it happens. I know it happens. A man plans her his girlfriend's birthday. All he did was do the shit that he wanted to do. Guarantee you, right? Women would crucify him. I guarantee you, women would crucify him. And I'm not saying, see, those type of men, those are selfish men. But I guarantee you, I believe most men don't do that. Personal opinion. I'm just saying this is personal opinion. Could prove me wrong. But most men will love a woman how she would want to be loved. You know, impress her how, most women would be impressed, right? Something flashy, something sweet, not because honestly, a lot of men do things for women that they don't want to do. A lot of men do things for women that they would never want to do. Men do not want to pay a whole lot of money to go on dinners, to go on romantic dates. No, men would rather stay home and fuck. That's it. Men would rather stay home and fuck. But no, for her, he goes the extra mile because it's for her. It's how she wants to be loved. That's why I honestly believe men, men are the ones who care about romance, who care about love. Women are the ones who care about themselves.
order myself something from Rice, which is a Mediterranean spot. He was very persistent that he was not hungry and he did not want anything. So I order myself a platter, a chicken platter, and it was huge. Usually we share this platter, okay? So the food gets there and I go get it from the foyer and then I put it into 2 plates. And then he looks at me, he goes, you didn't get me my own meal. I was like, you literally told me that you didn't want anything. I have been so patient at this point, but I am literally about to blow. The final straw was the evening rolls.
Okay, I want to tell you, I mean, I hate that part. I will agree with that, right? I hate that part. I hate I hate when you anyone, man or women, you have to read someone's mind. I do hate that part. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing where I want to say this. I want to say this. Where you're hoping women are so emotionally intelligent, okay? When I was in college, um, I was doing this project. And I was angry. I was mad because it was the project wasn't going right. Okay, what I was it was something. It was an art something art. Okay, it wasn't going right. I was just I was angry. I was infuriated. I was annoyed. My girlfriend at the time was right there. She was trying to help me. I was mad at her. It was not because of her. It was just because of that situation. I was just mad. I was furious. I yelled at her. Just go away. It's just like just whatever. Okay. I was being a jerk. I was being a dick. I was being a dick to her. I was being a dick to her because I was just infuriated, right? Because of the project, because it wasn't going right. So it would have been understandable when I yelled at her, tell her to go away. She would just gone away. Totally understand. What she did, and that I've told her multiple times that that was the moment I fell in love with her, or not the moment I fell in love with her, but that was the moment where I knew why I loved her. So after yelling at her, she left. She went around this. I was in the campus building. I was in the art building. She went around looking for a senior, okay, a senior artist. Told him, talked to him, brought him up to me, brought him to the classroom I was in. Okay, it was after hours. So brought him into a classroom I was in for him to help me. I told her that was the moment. I just like that. That was she didn't have to do that, but that moment touched my heart more than anything in my life because I was an absolute jerk to her. I was a jerk to her. I 100%. I was a jerk. But she had the emotional intelligent understanding that I was just frustrated. I was just frustrated. I was unhappy. I was in a bad mood. But because she loved me, she understood my frustration. She understood that I wasn't angry at her or it wasn't, whatever. She loved me and still wanted to help me out. So she did actions to try to solve my problems, to try to better my life, to try to better the situation for me, showing true effort to care for me by doing that action. So, like I said, in this situation, I'm not saying that she's terrible. She should have read his mind. But here's the thing, and I like I said, I hate it when anyone has to read someone's mind. That's why I said if my girlfriend at the time, didn't do that, and I wasn't even thinking about that, but didn't do that, I wouldn't have been mad. Because you should not have to read someone's mind to know what to do with that person. But for women claiming emotional intelligence, sympathy, empathy, all that shit, you knew you made your boyfriend's birthday a shitty day. How about go the extra mile and just get him food anyway? Oh, I mean, like, how many times women have done this, right? Women have done this countless times before. Oh, I don't want a present. I don't want a present. But in their mind, they want a present. But what happened to your intuition? What happened to your empathy? What happened? Yes, he said he didn't want anything. But for a peace offering, right? For another true effort of love, like true effort of trying, because honestly, she didn't. All the other shit she did was for herself, not for him. Monday Night Live. Not just talking, just talking. Yet she didn't do that. She could have.
Around and he's like, okay, where's my cake? I was like, cake? You had a cake yesterday. You wanted two cakes? Mind you, the restaurant that we were gonna go to, the sushi place, knew it was his birthday, and I'm pretty sure they were gonna bring out a dessert with a candle on it, but he made me cancel that. So, no, I didn't prepare another cake ahead of time, considering the fact that you already had a cake yesterday. Then this man literally starts to bitch at me and tell me how inconsiderate, how I am so not thoughtful because I didn't get him a second birthday cake. And he made me cry on his birthday. I spent so much money on that day. I think it was about
You spend that money for yourself. Every activity you planned, you wanted, not him. Every activity you planned, you wanted it, not him.
$300 for the horseback riding plus tip, and then about $500 for the couples massages plus tip. And then I was going to drop at least another $200 on dinner. So like $1,000 in total. And this man did not appreciate anything, complained the entire time, and was miserable.
I always said this, right? Reverse that logic. Reverse that logic. If you took your girlfriend to a sports game, okay, she doesn't like sports. You took her to a sports game. Then after that, you took her to, let's say, I don't know, a dive bar on her birthday. All the things you wanted, nothing she wanted. You think that you think that she should appreciate that? Fuck that shit. No. Why would someone appreciate you doing something that you want? Okay? Why would they appreciate you doing something you want and you're just making them tag along?
All day, and then he made me cry on his birthday. And that should just tell you everything you need to know about why I left him.
Because you're selfish and that man didn't condone your selfishness. She doesn't, yes, she doesn't, this is what I'm saying. She doesn't see that she's wrong. No accountability. Women will blame everyone but themselves. That's how it is. That is how it is. Um, what do you guys think? I thought this was an interesting story. So, what do you guys?